States hub, Video the Damned. I'm at the Phoenix Film Festival, which contains the International Horror Sci-Fi Festival as well. And I'm definitely watching some horror, maybe a little sci-fi for this festival. There's Oliver Stone, who I used to work next to and pee next to at offices in Santa Monica. And there is Keith David, star of Screen and Television. I guess that's a screen too. So I've never actually done one of these before, or if I have, it's been so long I forgot. I've certainly done screenings, but like whole festivals, no. And so I had to figure out the whole system, and that's been figured out. I just have some downtime before the movie I'm gonna see, so I got French fries and Diet Coke for dinner. But here's the program. I think I was most excited about Black Theta, which is a love letter to slashers by Tim Connoly. Not only is he good as the star in this, and not only is he good at directing it and writing a compelling plot about a whole cult full of slashers trying to get a survivor of a massacre so that they can leave no survivors behind, but the joke writing, it's so good. There's this new interesting spot he has found that's more than a scary movie parody and more than a Scream self-aware dialogue. It's like legit joke writing that just makes the script funny between all these scary, suspenseful moments. I loved it. There's a lot of nods to various horror classics in this. There's one particular outfit that he wears. You say, hey, that's Ash from Evil Dead. Right? There you go, right there. I would put Tim Connoly right alongside Troy Escamilla, Roger Connors, and Christopher Wesley Moore as this new generation of self-aware and savvy filmmakers who both pay homage to the genre but find new trailblazing ways to tell stories. And I love it, and I wish Connoly and the whole team behind this the very best as they go from the festival circuit to hopefully audiences all across the board, all across the nation, all across the world, finding out about Black Theta. Here for another night. Gonna see Itch, and just met Tim Connoly from Black Theta. That was cool. Got to chat a little bit. This is a great event. I need to come to more of these. Itch is written and directed by Barry Kang, and it is kind of like Night of the Living Dead, and some of the dynamics of these folks hold up together, but they're in a shop, which is kind of like Dawn of the Dead being in a mall, except it's not a zombie outbreak per se. It's an itch that is so bad it drives people to insanity and lashing out at others. I thought this was a good, poignant film. This definitely ended in a way to leave room for more exploration of this universe. If you go to my friends over at ScarityCast, you can see when Brian and I actually popped up right after the film to give more of our thoughts on that. So check out that clip. They also had the best paraphernalia at the festival. They had all these like posters, like warning, kind of public health notices at the festival. And I grabbed some of those for home that I'll show you. There were a few Texas Chainsaw Massacre documentaries at the festival. The one I got to see was Dinner with Leatherface, which is available now on Tubi to watch. I did not realize that Gunnar Hansen was such a Renaissance man. And so while this does talk about his very well-known role as Leatherface in the first classic original Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and of course he did Hollywood Chainsaw Hookers after that, but there is so much more that he accomplished, not only in acting, but in writing and producing documentaries of his own. Very interesting man that everybody who ever encountered him seems to have loved. Nothing but good things about Mr. Hansen, and I'm really glad that I got to see this and find out a lot more about his life and his accomplishments. So check it out, Dinner with Leatherface. Away from the hustle and bustle on site of the festival, let me tell you about a couple more things that I saw, or mostly saw. Starting with Jimmy and Stiggs, Joe Bagos. I loved Christmas Bloody Christmas. Jimmy and Stiggs, maybe less so. Bottle episode of a movie, right? And it's 80 minutes. I think it could have been about 65 or 70, and I actually had to cut out before the end. So I don't know if Jimmy and Stiggs make it out alive of this alien invasion that all takes place in one apartment. There's lots of swearing, there's lots of boozing and drugging it up, And there's lots of aliens, which is the best part, the goriness of the aliens and fighting the aliens. And it all takes place in this weird, like, day glow neon kind of color scheme. It's the kind of thing you're gonna like if you like that kind of thing, to steal a phrase from wrestling legend Jim Cornette. I could see where people would hate this. And now that Eli Roth has picked it up, there's people who are just not gonna see it because of Eli Roth's affiliation with the product. Again, I liked Christmas Bloody Christmas. I felt guilty walking out and walking right past Joe Bagos on my way to another screening, but like I wanted to make it to the other screening in time and not miss the beginning. And I feel like I kind of knew what the gist of the film was. If you like aliens and you like things that take place all in one setting, which is going to be the next film I talk about as well, then you'll enjoy it. But I understand if it gives you a headache. Dead Lover. I wish I had a trailer to show you or clips or something, but there's just not a whole lot out there. It's purely festival circuit right now. It's Grace Glowiciki, Ben Petrie, Leah Doze, and Lowen Morrow. There's 4 cast members, and they play all the various parts, and they filmed it in 2 black box theaters, and the special effects, as they are very like early David Lynch, early Tim Burton, but this is a twist on Frankenstein. But it's a lonely gravedigger, this lady who stinks of corpses and finally meets her dream man, but then he dies. So what is she gonna do? I think we all know. The vibe of it, theater-wise, reminded me of Hedwig and the Angry Inch. That sort of like, you know, outsider theater. Which I get that, you know, now everybody loves Hedwig and the Angry Inch, which even at the time I said, oh, I thought it was going to be like the Rocky Horror Picture Show of our generation. I don't think it's quite that large and wide, but if you know a lot about the theater spirit, and I don't because I wasn't a theater kid, I was in punk rock bands, but I think that there's like some punk rock band theater kid adjacent Venn diagrams there, then you'll get what I'm talking about. And Dead Lover was probably my favorite of the festival, besides Black Theta. I can't choose, they're 2 totally different films. But as far as how it's crafted and made, I was really impressed. And I need to see Grace Glowiki's other films. Sorry I don't have footage to show you. Horror shorts that I saw was Escape by Lorenzo Medetti. And it's a POV alien invasion. Kind of like Vinny and Stiggs, but a lot less swearing and drugs. Tragedium, Gaston Hogg, 3 bullies, 1 debt, and a close encounter of the 4th kind that no one expected. Very sci-fi bent to this set of horror shorts that I watched. Baby Blues, Going Dark was directed by James P. Gleason, and it's dentist horror and body horror and black market organ horror, and it's very funny. And then I saw most of Porcelain, directed by Tim Wildgoose, and it's a very glossy looking, like, YA story of a man creating these porcelain dolls. And I think it's literally based on a YA novel. I saw most of it, and I watched in theater, and then I had to catch a screening, and then I watched the rest of it at home. That it was available on a website, YouTube to see. So, you know, like I said, this was my first time navigating the film festival schedules and systems, so there's a lot of other stuff that I missed that I would have loved that now you can go watch, like Freaky Tales or Going Postal, the documentary about that franchise, those video games and movies, and then the documentary about Captain Coulson, the log lady from Twin Peaks. So a lot of wonderful stuff at this festival. I also want to say, yeah, this festival happened several months before what you're watching now. I knew Video the Damned was going to be more quarterly special. I didn't know it'd be these few and far between, but hey, the day job's going great. The career in education services, having left the cybersecurity world, it's been really fulfilling for me, and but just busy talking to school districts and helping them out. So I am not ending Video the Damned by any means, but they will probably continue to be few and far between. There's a whole new batch of horror movies out and coming out that I need to see, and share with you. Well, that has been the International Horror and Sci-Fi Festival at Phoenix Film Festival. Thank you, Morbidly Beautiful. Thank you, Horror Monger Collectibles, for sending me here. And thank you, Harkins. Gonna definitely try to make it back next year. So until then, I remain Hub.